toys. But this was not to be. I had kept my Meccano set in the loft for 20 years, but neither of my daughters showed the remotest interest in it. Because Georgina took everything apart, I was sure that she was going to become an engineer. And this notion was reinforced when Georgina nearly set the house on fire by connecting a large battery the wrong way round. I suppose now that Georgina can leave all of this electronic engineering stuff to Chris. Tidiness. Tidiness and having large quantities of possessions is another thing that you should know about Georgina. When packing the car to take her to Birmingham University for her last year, I gradually realised that it would not all fit. And yes, you've guessed it, we had to use 2 cars to take her and her stuff. Of course, once there, they suffered from one of the usual student house hazards. They were burgled. Everybody in the house had valuables stolen from their bedrooms. Except Georgina. It seems that the burglar couldn't be bothered wading through the piles of stuff on the floor of her room with the hope of finding anything to steal. The Georgina in front of us is the picture of elegance, looking beautiful on this special day. However, she was the closest that a girl could get to being a rebel at her posh private school, dyeing her hair multicolours, putting in dreadlocks, and wearing Doc Martens. But her brightness meant all of this was overlooked by the staff. I knew that I liked Chris from the moment that we first met. Conversation flowed easily. Cats, gadgets, cooking, and Georgina, of course. But what really made me realise we were on the same wavelength was when I asked Chris if he would teach me to solder wires together properly. He instantly said yes, and from then on I was desperate for him to join our family. Chris shares my interest in cooking, but he's far better at it than I am. When it comes to technology, Chris shrewdly realised that no amount of debate would persuade me to like Apple Mac computers. So he chose a pragmatic approach and gave me his old one to see for myself. I still don't like it. Georgina and Chris are both keen on diving. Georgina is particularly interested in scuba diving, while Chris is keen on skydiving. Maybe you can meet somewhere in the middle. Chris, I've noticed that you're a bit of a gadget freak. I think you like clever toys that make life fun. Perhaps that is why you were attracted to Georgina. It's customary for the father of the bride to say that he and his wife haven't so much lost a daughter as gained a son. Well, in our case, we haven't so much lost a daughter as gained a friend. We enjoy Chris's company very much, and we are truly delighted to welcome Chris into our family. Now, a piece of advice for Chris. Georgina's birthday is 2 days before your wedding anniversary. That is a challenge for you, Chris, as it is 2 dates which you simply must remember. I wanted to help you, so I searched the internet for suggestions. The best one that I read just said, if you want to remember your wife's birthday, just try forgetting it once. We are having wonderful food and entertainment in beautiful surroundings. And most important of all, we have great people to celebrate with. Georgina and Chris have given us a really good reason for being here. Please enjoy yourselves this evening. Thanks for coming to share our celebration. I see a lot of smiling faces in front of me, but no one looks quite as happy as Georgina and Chris. Mr. and Mrs. Sturmer. Please be upstanding now for our very special toast. You stay down. On behalf of Jackie and myself, together with Joan and Ed, please toast our lovely bride and groom and wish them a long, happy and healthy life together. Georgina and Chris.
Georgina and Chris.
Thank you, Joe. That was a fantastic speech, very enjoyable.